Hey, hey! Oh boy, I'm really not good at these intros. I am new to this whole content creation thing, but I'm slowly learning and making connections where I can. So let me get to the point. This is the first proper video I'm doing on this channel, so let me properly introduce myself. You can call me Crystal. I'm a small-time streamer on Twitch with the most infrequent schedule of all time. Currently, I'm playing a first-time playthrough of Xenoblade 2, but I also play Smash, Genshin, and I plan to play through so much more. I'm also on these other platforms, so go check out those if you want to be more updated on my streams and other content. As for the content in this video, this is a live stream I hosted on the channel a bit ago. I wanted to make it a frequent thing. It's an anime manga talk show that I'm doing with my friend Mike. We'll be going over seasonal anime and currently running manga series like Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, and many more. I may be doing a similar series with other friends in the future too. But yeah, just wanted to greet y'all and let myself be more known and out there. I encourage you to stick around and chill with this long talk, but if this content is not up your alley, I do want to do more gaming focused content, so subscribe and see if there's anything that catches your eye in the future. Doesn't hurt. I implore you to like the video, comment if you have any thoughts, and share to whomever you think would like this kind of content. Now, this is going on long enough. Thank you for sticking around. So, this is going to be episode 1 of Name Still Pending. I don't know if you got anything more clever to come up with, but since we're mostly following Shonen Jump series, I'ma call it Your Weekly Jump. So your weekly rundown of some of the biggest manga series releasing every week. I don't know. I'll probably come up with something more clever and personalized later, but for now that's what I got.
I like it. I like the weekly jump.
Your weekly.
Wait, doesn't your weekly jump?
Yeah. That's the name. But wait, you said that's another show?
No, I thought it sounded similar to like Shonen Jump, but I said your weekly jump.
Yeah. That's the point. That's the point.
Then yeah.
Yeah. Right. So.
Absolutely.
Let's get started. So, recently, I just started Hell's Paradise like literally yesterday, and I just got through another episode earlier today. I just got on episode 2, and I just finished that like literally like not even a half hour ago, right?
Episode 2 that's the episode where they first get onto the island?
No, that's the episode when they have the Shogun is having all the convicts kill each other.
I see. Okay, I remember that part.
Oh wait, hold on. I had to pull something. Okay. So I have a little display on the stream that I gotta put up. I totally forgot. Oh my god. So I'm always a fan of bloody anime. I'm always a fan of like bloody and intense shit, right?
Like it's the AOT or Vinland sometimes.
Right. I don't know. It's just that type of thriller shit that I always love in animation and stuff. And right now, so far, there hasn't been the most intense action scenes, but I mean, so far, I think it's like I think it's pretty well animated. It's stylized really well. The gore intensive scenes aren't like the most like disturbing, I don't think, but like it's still got a level of gruesomeness that like may offset the common viewers. So it may like I don't know, it may detract a few viewers from that if they don't want to continue with that, and I have no idea how it's going to progress to the rest of the show. It's probably going to be it's probably going to be on a similar level, but
from what oh wait.
No, go on.
Yeah, I pretty much say that Hell's Paradise is very gruesome, and that sort of action that you see in the first few episodes, that's essentially a sort of gore that's pretty much in the whole series.
So that's
exactly Hell's Paradise.
So that's setting the tone and stuff. Okay, all right.
It's pretty much setting the tone for the series.
That makes sense, and I'm very much down with it.
But like the way you said that you pretty much have no idea where it's going, I actually don't know where this show is going either. Because I
Uh,
know what they mentioned what they're trying to do yet.
uh, trying to get the elixir.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I know that's like the end goal of the series because that's how Gabimaru will reunite with his wife or whatever, right?
mhm, yeah, like we're still looking for the elixir, and I really have no idea what's gonna go from there because of the location that they're at.
Mm-hmm.
I won't talk too much about it because that's getting into spoiler territory, but the location that they're at is a really wild location.
Mm-mm.
Did they already show like the person that came back? Because I believe that's in the second
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They showed what the people returned look like and how they get all deformed and get like a sort of like parasite growing within them.
Hmm. Yeah, that island is no joke. That's all I can say. It's no joke.
It doesn't look it, but oh my god, the setting and atmosphere right now are so cool. Just the offset, like the island itself being called paradise, but like so far all this like brooding and like foreboding kind of nature that comes with it. It's like there's like it's looks so it's so gruesome what happens to the people there, right? But it's described
Hmm.
as paradise, and um even one of the guards, even one of the shogun's guards is like, it should be an honor that you criminals are being given this blessing of being able to set foot there in the first place. So in reality, it's looking to be like, I don't know, literal hell. It looks like literal hell to go through.
Yeah, at first glance, it does look like a paradise, but that's just at first glance. Like, just the scenery and the landscape of the place, it seems like somewhere heavenly, but that's all I can say. There's that huge butt there.
But no, the setting looks gorgeous. I'm gonna love seeing like just a bunch of the ambience and atmosphere shots that are gonna come with this anime. Um,
Look forward to it. Because,
mhm.
yeah, it's something. And how do you feel about Gabimaru so far?
I think I think that guy's cold as hell. Like like I'm down to go with this kind of protagonist. He's not he kind of threw me in for a loop because well, the first episode, it has him describing as, and it shows him like going through all these executions and how it's failing on him. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh, this guy's just immortal or whatever, right? This guy probably doesn't have like any sort of like ulterior motives to go through with his life, right? Because like he's just trying to, or how he says it, he's just trying to find a way to properly die because nobody seems to be able to do it. And
Hmm.
and then it's later revealed that like he's intentionally resisting because through his what seems to be his ninjutsu in
Yeah, it's ninjutsu.
yeah, it seems to be through his ninjutsu, whether it be him hardening his neck or resisting the fire, or even just using the super strength or whatever that he used to stop the bulls from pulling him apart. So
Uh, I'm. Is that part ninjutsu? I
yeah,
actually wasn't even. Oh wait, you're about to say something?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like this guy's just strong as hell. He probably just did it through his own sheer strength or whatever.
Like he said himself that it's just that his body didn't want him to die, but he couldn't figure out why.
Right, right, right. And like that was the thing that kind of threw me off, and kind of the biggest question I had with the first episode is like, how did Sagiri find out exactly how Gabimaru didn't want to accept death yet, whether it be through him putting on this facade of actually not, of like actually loving his life and the new person he could potentially become through his wife. And like,
It was.
but I was
Oh, yeah.
confused about that. But then like I had a talk, I just had a talk with Charlotte earlier actually, and I just kind of came to the conclusion that like it was because Sagiri had so much info on Gabimaru already. Like she kind of just found out more through his personal life or whatever.
Yeah, she pretty much did her research, and that got her to the conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a correct conclusion, because not even Gabimaru figured that out. That's the thing that tied him back to keeping himself alive.
So it's like, but I think that's the strongest theme that's been shown in the series so far, and like I kind of like it a lot. I love this theme of these horrible people, or maybe not horrible people is the right way to describe it, but people who have committed such like maybe horrible and some gruesome deeds being able to reflect and be better themselves and live a more peaceful life, as his wife is pretty much trying to do, because all his wife wanted was to live as ordinary people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this has this potential to be a pretty beautiful series, on honesty.
Yeah, I'd say it does have that sort of potential. Just depending on how it pretty much delves its course throughout. Because like right now we're still on that bridge of we're still looking for the elixir. So we still don't know where it's gonna go from here. There are definitely many spots for amazing plot twists, but so far I'd say Hell's Paradise is doing really well for itself.
That's great. That's great to hear. Do you know if it's going to be it's a 12 episode run or if it's more?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it might. It's probably going to really depend on pretty much how much they have prepared for this show. Because I know the next episode got delayed.
Oh, okay.
And that was due to production issues, from what I heard.
Okay,
I'm not sure if that's. We don't know yet. That was supposed to be 13.
Oh yeah, I just looked it up right now too. It's supposed to be 13. All right, so this was a series I was planning on reading anyway, but I have no idea how far it is into its manga run right now. Anyway, I think is it like over 200 chapters?
200 chapters? I didn't even know that.
I mean, I'm just fucking eyeballing. Let me check.
Oh yes, apparently it's finished with 128 chapters.
Oh, it's finished? Oh. That's crazy. I didn't expect it to be finished. I'm used to these series being so long and stuff.
Yeah, I actually finished like a couple years ago, like in 2021.
Damn.
But from the looks of it, it seems like a pretty short series.
Yeah, 120 is pretty short.
So they might actually have like the whole thing finished in those 13 episodes. Which is kind of worrisome because it could be rushed. But also, if they do it right, it doesn't need to be rushed.
I see. In that case, if it's, I might give it a read and maybe just only read up to the season, to where season 1 ends and kind of feel out how comparatively it is doing to the manga, and just see like what the pacing will go on from there. But I mean, I don't know. I heard really good stuff about this series, and I heard and I've heard from other friends watching this series right now how they've been enjoying it so far. So I don't know, Hell's Paradise looking like a real winner of the season.
It is. It really is.
Alright. Now, speaking of the season, I have not been keeping up with Dr. Stone. But me as a manga reader, I've already experienced Dr. Stone.
Okay. So you already know about what's going on in this.
Yeah. So I was actually hoping if you could tell me what's going on with the New World right now, because I know we're like the 8th week into the season, so there's quite a few episodes already out.
So far, they've completed the ship and they've already started sailing off. They've leveled up pretty much the things that they've already had. So I think they call it a lethal. They leveled that up to end up creating a microscope. And so they actually arrived at Treasure Island, that island that they were looking for to find that space pod that was left behind by Takaski.
Uh-huh.
Wait, is it Takaski or yeah, it's Takaski because the other yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's Byakuya. It's Byakuya, not Takaski. Byakuya.
Right, Byaki Ishigami, his dad. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So they went to go and look for that thing left behind. They invited a guy named Soyuz on board, who was from Treasure Island.
Oh, right.
And when
right.
they actually got to the island, the unthinkable happened.
What happened?
They sent out Senku, Kohaku, Gin, and Soyuz out to scout the place, and what's her name again? Suika. Suika also somehow boarded the ship, but she snuck on board.
Right. Okay.
And
okay.
Rusui. So there was a flash. Rusui sent, he sent Suika off the ship, and next thing you know, everyone on the ship is repetrified.
Oh, is that what happened on the latest episode, or is that something happened earlier?
This is what happened on the latest episode.
Oh, that's a nasty cliffhanger to leave it on. Oh damn. I'm like remembering all the events of that arc in my head, and oh my god, yeah. No, this is probably my favorite part in Dr. Stone. The later and last arc are like kinda cool, but I feel like maybe there was a bit of burnout on my end, and maybe the anime will do it like a way cooler. But I think this part was probably the most like intense and the coolest I ever found Dr. Stone to be.
So they went and found this one inhabitant. What's her name is? She was scheduled to be married to the leader, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy who seemingly knows the most about the petrification thing. And Senku and Ko encountered her, and she wanted to ally with Senku because Senku might have the tools needed to take down that Emperor dude, who we do not know of yet.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This part, yeah. From what I remember this arc, well, not only do I like it a lot because it's featuring, because Ryusui was recently introduced, and I did watch the Ryusui OVA, so I'm familiar with how he's portrayed in the anime and stuff. So that's my favorite character in the series. Ryusui, I think, is like so fucking cool. I think his whole motive and his whole scheming and thematic is like so. I don't know. Ryusui always struck me as like the super cool character to me.
Ryusui is really cool. Like, he seems arrogant at first, but he's selfishly selfless.
right, and that's like, it's easy to make the comparison between him and like Greed from Full Metal.
Greed, yep.
Basically, it's such an easy comparison to make, and but at the same time, it's a cool concept of making greed a not so morally wrong trait.
And it's not a trait that's usually like portrayed as that sort of way in like most media, because most media will portray greed as just something straight evil. But characters like Greed or Rushui paint greed in a good light. In a better light than how it's normally portrayed.
They make it such a heroic trait, and I don't know. I think it's just cool as hell.
Yeah, does that Rusui OVA happen in the manga?
Yeah. Those are just a few chapters where he gets revived and introduced properly. Okay. I can't remember specifically if they added anything anime original to his part, because it's an OVA in the first place, so it's like a special kind of episode. So I imagine they did, but it's been so long ago since I've read, because I was reading Dr. Stone as it was coming out, actually, since like chapter 100, and I think by then, I think it was only then that Ryusui got introduced. It was around there. Oh, I was like by chapter 90. It was by chapter 90 that I think he got introduced, and then I started reading week to week.
So let's see, they revived Ryusui, then they revived Ryusui's butler, Francois, who Francois is the GOAT.
Francois
can
is really cool.
Really do anything.
Very reliable member of their crew.
Facts. And a great chef.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. Senku mentioned that they might not be able to build the ship, and that pretty much drove Ryusui even more into building it. And then they found the oil. They were looking for oil for a very long time. They finally found it through using a pig. And that's pretty much the course to going on it. Oh, I forgot about the hard elm balloons.
Right. I forgot about that point. That's actually so fucking funny. How they found the oil field through the pig.
But it's a really clever way too.
It's just, and that's like the coolest part about Dr. Stone, just always making you think of or just like introducing like these like, they're a bit exaggerated, but Dr. Stone has had a science consultant for like all of their chapters and stuff, so all of like what happens, whether through like their experiments and like through their reasoning with scientific methods, it's like plausible, and I don't know. Ooh, I think my Discord just crashed. Wait, but I'm still hearing you. Oh, that was weird. Oh, I think my Discord just crashed. Is the stream good? My Spotify is fine. My stream is good. Hold on. Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Oh my god, that was weird. My Discord just crashed.
You missed the sponsorship.
Oh my god, I missed. Dude, I'm gonna lose money. I'm gonna lose money. That was weird as hell. I didn't fucking expect that. It was weird because I could hear you for a moment too. So I don't know what was going on, but shit. What was the last thing you heard?
Last thing I heard was you were talking about how Dr. Stone had a scientific consultant, and I was thinking that you were about to say that pretty much any scientific experiment that they do is like pretty much scientifically accurate.
Yeah. It's like that's like the most probable that's just like the coolest part of Dr. Stone. How every experiment, every deduction is like scientifically plausible and could work in a real world setting. Also, thank you, Aaron, for the heads up. I was worried for a sec if my internet was tweaking or something.
I got you.
But yeah, but with Dr. Stone, I still need to watch season 2. I finished season 1 and was kind of like, yeah, that was pretty good. It was okay, but Stone Wars is a really cool arc too. That's still my second favorite arc in the series, probably.
You weren't watching Stone Wars when it was airing?
I forgot, dude. I like watched one episode, I think, and then just stopped. I don't know what was happening at the time, but I just couldn't get myself to go through it. But
winter 2021? That was like the pinnacle of anime for days.
Dude,
winter 2021 was a season.
I know, dude. I know. It was just, oh my god. I forget what was going on during that time. I just forgot all about Dr. Stone. But because like Tsukasa is so cool. Tsukasa is such a cool character, and that arc just like really just chef's kiss. It just put it perfectly for him.
And it's immense why his drive is so great.
And like Dr. Stone wasn't really like notable for its like animation or whatever.
Mm-mm.
But like I'll have to see what was going on in the anime during those parts, because that's where it would be the most animation intensive. So I don't know. I don't know what you remember from Stone Wars anime. If it was like it was like some spectacular animation, but that's what I would
I
look
wouldn't,
forward to the most when if I were to go watch it right now.
if I remember correctly, I wouldn't say like the animation was like anything super amazing, but it did well enough to like it did well enough. Like it did its job.
Mm.
Since
That's
that's not the primary focus in terms of Doctor Stone.
right, of course, and that was kind of what always threw me off of the Doctor Stone animation. I always thought that it just like it did its job well, but it never tried to supersede anything. But it's fine. It's fine. It's still Doctor Stone. The source material is already really great.
Mm-hmm. It's doing a good job animating it.
Mm-hmm. I'm stinky. Oh, Shino, you take that back, bro. I don't appreciate that. But what's next? I would say we could talk about Demon Slayer for a bit, as we are both watching it. I just haven't watched this week's episode, but
Oh, okay.
I don't- but I don't know what really much there is to talk about. What do you think so far about Demon Slayer?
Well, so far, I don't. This arc is pretty cool. I don't like it as much as the Entertainment District arc,
Mm-hmm.
because that arc was like, I'd say that arc was way better so far from what I'm seeing. And then again, I'm also like, when it comes to Demon Slayer, I'm really more focusing on the action. And while I had some pretty cool action, I just remember liking the Entertainment arc, District arc more. But that's
Oh.
not to take away from the Source Myth Village arc. This arc is still really cool, and I'm also really liking the fight so far with the Miss Demon versus the upper fifth, and then him, Nezuko, and Genya versus the upper fourth.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's making me wonder. Oh, you're about to say something?
No, go on.
It's making me wonder. Like, these are the upper fifth and upper fourth, which seem to be stronger than the upper sixth. So I'm wondering, like, they're probably going to have an even worse time. But with the amount of hands that they have, it'll be way harder to defeat them.
Yeah, for sure. It's I don't know how I really felt about these upper rank demons. I think I forget his name, but the one that could split into multiple ones. I think I obviously he's like the more interesting one, as he is the higher rank demon anyway, as compared to Gyoko, the upper rank fifth. But I don't know. It was like kind of weird. I don't know what it exactly was when I was first reading the arc in the manga, but compared to their fight with Gyutaro and Daki. It kind of felt a little less intense, and it kind of felt a little like, I don't know, like these demons were somehow weaker than
That's exactly how I'm feeling.
they're somehow weaker
it.
than the upper rank 6, right?
Yes, because they just don't feel like they pack as hard a punch. I'm
Well,
not sure if it's like the difference in how they act, but I don't like them as much as upper rank 6.
yeah, and actually, besides Akaza, because Akaza eventually became my favorite character, or I guess just favorite demon on the Demon Slayer side of things. Like Gyutaro actually had such a strong impact on me, Gyutaro and Daki, because like they're supposed to be these parallels to Tanjiro and Nezuko, and how the difference in their sibling relationship, and like when the way Gyutaro just shit talked Tanjiro, like the whole fight, but especially when he had him down on the ground and just it was just berating him, torturing him, and like,
Like
oh my
saying
god.
that she couldn't do anything to protect his sister when he's trying to do the exact same thing.
That scene was so cool. That scene was so cool to me.
Mm. How did Tanjiro? Oh yeah, he used his hard head to
Yeah.
get out of that situation.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's an unfortunate anime thing, but like really all it comes down to is just it's just demons underestimating their opponent over and over again. But either way, that fight was satisfying as hell.
I'm just waiting for Akaza's fight when that comes in eventually.
Oh,
Because that's probably going to be next.
Oh, do you know of it, or you just know because they eventually have to fight him, right?
They just eventually have to fight him.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now that the Akaza fight that comes later is, oh my god, that's just probably my favorite fight in the series.
But I've been told something very interesting, but this is like deep into spoiler territory. So should I mention it?
I think you're okay with not saying anything for now. Cause like,
Okay.
if we're just talking about anime only, then that's it, anime only, right?
Yeah. Then I'll just mention it has to do with the first upper rank. That's all.
Ah, okay. Because that guy's cool as hell too. Oh my god.
He looks cool. He looks cold, but he also looks like what was that? Tanjiro's dad?
Yeah. No, the resemblance is supposed to be pretty much 1-to-1, but you'll see all the lore drops that'll happen with him later.
I bet.
Alright. But yeah, I think this arc has been pretty well adapted, and I think the conclusion of it is gonna be it's gonna be really cool, I think. Like Mitsuri has yet to be shown like fighting pretty seriously or whatever. Like she was shown to take out like some fodder demons or whatever, but
yeah, that's all she's done so far.
Her breathing technique is actually the one I was like most curious to see animated, because I don't exactly remember how it's depicted in the manga, but you know how the breathing skills are in Demon Slayer, and how just vibrant and colorful and really well animated they are. So we saw it briefly for her, but I'm just waiting for more for her.
Yeah, I expect her to come into the fight later on, because they're gonna need her. Because they're short on Hashira.
Of course, she's a Hashira.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of Hashira, like well, not actually speaking of Hashira. I don't know. It was just a point I wanted to make earlier. I think the reason it can be attributed as to why these demons feel weaker than previous demons shown is because Tanjiro just grew in strength. Like, he's like near Hashira level, if you really want to be generous, right?
That's what I've heard. Like, the time between he fought the 6th upper rank and this upper rank, Tanjiro grew a lot. And he's gotten way better at sun breathing too.
And like, you could attribute that to like why these demons feel weaker or whatever, but it's like it's a bit disappointing, but I guess it could also be seen as like a cool thing as to how like as like he initially starts the fight not even fighting with the Hashira, right? So it's cool to see that he doesn't need that assistance anymore. He has Genya and Nezuko, which are great help as well, but it's not
the same level of help that Hashira would provide.
Exactly. So it's cool. It's cool in one way, disappointing in another, but I think it's effective overall.
Yeah, I see it.
Hold on, Rico's asking if I can join. But before anything else, I gotta ask, because this has been one of my most anticipated drops with this new arc. What's your thoughts on Genya?
Genya. All right, so I like Genya, but I have no idea what's going on with Genya right now. Because Genya kind of just like, so there was a scene where it was the blue. It was a sad fourth upper, like the one that has sadness. He was beheaded, and Genya's eyes were black, and he was drooling, and I remember his teeth were like really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that, like, my first thought was the fourth upper. I mean, not the fourth upper. The fourth upper did something to him, but now I'm thinking that it's kind of like just something that happened to him way sooner. Like, I'm thinking Genya got turned into a demon. Somehow.
That's the thought that most people initially came to. I forget exactly how it is explained. I'm not gonna say it right now due to because I don't think they got into it in the anime yet. I don't think they got into it this episode. Yeah.
They didn't even explain it. They just kind of like showed it.
Mm-hmm. So I won't get into exactly how this is the mechanics of how it works, but no, Genny's powers are so cool, and I was waiting to see his gun too, because I think his gun.
Oh, yeah, he just has a gun.
His gun is so cool. I'm like, and it just makes you think, why don't more demon slayers do this? I get they're trained with the sword, but dude, using a gun from long range, and it seems to be pretty damn effective too. Like that's just so fucking cool.
He's doing his job well.
All right, I'm gonna invite Rico in real quick. They just want to say hi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see their little icon join the fucking channel in a bit.
Oh my gosh, I can say hi.
Holy smokes. Gosh. Holy shit. Hi.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Hi guys.
Hi. Oh
my
God. That's it? Alright, good job. Good job, Private. Good job, Private Rico.
Your services will be remembered.
Oh, okay. But I think Genny's cool as hell. He hasn't had the best chance to show off his skills in the anime so far, but from the episodes that I watched. But no, this character's powers and this character's whole theming and skills or whatever, I think is cool as hell.
Would you say that Genya is stronger than Nezuko right now, or is that like a spoiler?
I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge it because she's a demon, he's not. So it's like I think I would say yes. I think Genya has more inherent strengths over Nezuko, but you know, Nezuko's blood or whatever would always have that factor of being really effective against demons. But I'm kind of talking a lot more than I thought I would have, but that's okay.
That's going well.
I think we can skip over Sakamoto for right now, or what are you thinking?
It's up to you. Good. I read the newest chapter very recently, so it's up to you.
I think I'll wait on when Sakamoto, the next week of Sakamoto to talk about it more.
Alright, bet.
Alright, but let's talk about Black Clover.
Okay. Now we're talking things up my alley. Alright, so we want to talk about the newest chapter, or are we talking about like things that happened in the previous chapters?
We can do both. Because it's been a while. This is the first chapter since the hiatus.
In like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So no, you start.
So concerning this chapter, I was thinking that Noelle was still out looking for Asta, and when she showed up, I was like kind of expecting her to show up because it was the Nozel family fighting Alicia. So when she showed up and pulled up that new transformation that looked cold and is probably going to be. I'm not even sure if that's going to be like her most powerful transformation, but it is her most powerful to date.
Yeah, I think this transformation is really cool. I wish it could have been delivered better, since like this is the transformation that's like going to like give her that level up and like give her the refound and renewed strength, which was like shown through her resolve to continue getting stronger to welcome Asta back after his disappearing. But to me, I think transformations mid-fight are always way cooler. So if something could have awakened in her and it was like a little bit more personal during the Ashir fight with her mom, or supposedly her mom, right? I think it could have I think it could have been pulled off a lot cooler, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'd say like my only problem with it is it just seems last minute, because I'm not sure, was the sea god ever mentioned before that island? Before in the island?
I think it was mentioned briefly, but it might have only been like, you know, just a one-off sentence or whatever. That was one-off line that was like, could have been like thrown to the wayside or whatever.
I see. So they probably just didn't delve enough into it, because like when they went to the island, I'm so tempted to call it Fishman Island. It's an island a bunch of into the sea. But I went to that island. It just seemed like they didn't explore the place enough.
Definitely, but that couldn't be helped because it, like, you know, it got like the elf like cut off their visit there. But at the same time, you know, you're right. Like if it were another series, I think it could have had more depth involved, and it could have like been more it could have been more explored fully. Like Black Clover does have some like interesting world, but it's kind of like more surface level world building rather than like something a bit more intensive.
Like one thing I've noticed about Black Clover is they'll take a bunch of tropes, put them into the story, and then just let them evolve. Which is something I've noticed, which is why like each arc is usually just better than the last arc. Yeah. Like when Black Clover first started off, I remember everyone just called it like a ripoff of every shonen ever. But as time went on, people started seeing Black Clover for what it was, and it got better. And the elf arc is one of the best arcs in the show.
It's definitely still my favorite. I think the elf arc midway through the series, I think it kind of fumbled its ending, but at the same time, like I think it just dragged on a little. I think that was the only problem with it. It kind of just dragged on a little, but it was still. I think it was still a really strong arc. Maybe not one of my favorite shonen arcs that I've ever seen, but it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I'd say the elf arc was like really good. And one thing about it is, I have a quick question for you.
What's up?
Would you say that Zogritus was... No, not Zogritus. What was his name? It started with the Z. Zagrid. Would you say that Zagrid was a Deus Ex Machina or not?
Zagrid is... Are you talking about the first Wizard King?
No, I'm talking about the demon that showed up like at the end.
Oh, him? You mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about the at the end with the about the end of the fight with Lucifer?
No, that's the Spade arc.
Okay.
I'm talking about the end of the Elf arc.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the end right there. Oh, could you go over it a bit more?
So
Zagrid.
Zagrid, let me try to remember. All right, so Zagrid came out of, who was it? One of the. He was with one of the. When the Wizard King like first showed up again,
Mm-hmm.
because Patry had his own like posse, and Zagrid was hidden among them. So, what did Patra revived? The first Wizard King's old body, and then went and I'm trying to remember what it was.
You're talking about you're talking about the demon, about
Yeah,
the devil. Oh, I forgot his name. Oh my god! If you just fought, if you, I
just
totally
said it
forgot his
wasn't.
name. Yeah. I think you do you mean like how he was like introduced, about how he just appeared
Mm-hmm.
as like the actual villain of the arc? I
Yeah.
I think it was fine, although I think. I think it was a fine reveal, and it makes more sense that given like the tragic nature of what happened with the first Wizard King and all of his maybe like future promises that kind of got let down later on, and shows like in the ripples of the problems with the Clover Kingdom. I think I think it's fine, but I don't think he was a Deus Ex personally. I think it could be fine. It could be if you don't like a last minute like villain reveal, that's just your thing. But
I didn't think myself that he was a Deus Ex, but I heard a lot of people say that he was. And one of the reasons that people mentioned was it kind of undermines the theme of humans just in general sometimes doing bad things because they're human and they're not like 100% trusting of other people, because like when the elves first showed up and the elves were suddenly attacked, they all thought it was the humans that did it,
mhm.
but it wasn't actually the humans, it was Zagreus.
I
But Zagreus pretty much gaslighted it into happening, if I
Right.
remember right.
Yeah. He basically made the humans of the Clover Kingdom attack the elves out of
Mm-hmm.
pure discrimination, or like he like incited the discrimination. But I don't. I always thought it was more of like he kind of just fueled the embers that already existed, because they were already superstitious of the elves in the
Yeah,
first place. So
yeah, I can see that. I
and
can see that.
and the original like people that were involved, like the Wizard King and the who was the elf that he married? I
I
forget her
forgot her
name.
name.
I forget her name
Right.
too. But like the original point was that something tragic happened between him and that elf. But as we knew, like the first Wizard King was like obviously the Wizard King is revered as like this almighty more morally uprighteous person that that like would want to build a better society and kingdom for others.
Mhm.
So we knew already that like it couldn't. I mean I just felt that like he couldn't have caused the events of that of the elf genocide. I I
Yeah,
I,
that's true.
I think it could have been a cooler, darker turn had executed correctly. Had like the first Wizard King originally been shown to maybe have this dubious nature at first, but since he didn't, I think the turn of events makes sense.
Yeah, I think it just works well with what they were given, and using Zagreus, that would that pretty much. I pretty much think that I pretty much sealed the deal well.
Mm. Okay.
Who is your Wait, who is this series your favorite character off of Black Clover?
I mean, you already know it's Noelle.
Yeah.
It's Noelle, and because she has just been doing so much, and like still being like so strong for herself, but like learning her strength from others, like that like it's weird, because I don't really like the trope of a
Cinder?
not as Cinder. I mean, I don't like that trope either, honestly, but but I don't like the trope of a female character's strength coming from a male character. But I don't know. I just can't help be captivated by Noelle because she's such a tragic character at first. Just having someone being someone that never really knew the feelings of belonging somewhere and having kinship with others. So I think for that reason alone, I think it works a little bit. I think it works a lot better than if she were just someone who just fawned over Asta because, you know, he's awesome or cool or whatever. But it's more so the fact that Noelle kind of grew into someone more trusting and more and just more belonging to something.
Like, that's one thing I really like about Noelle. It's just her character growth from someone, like, even just the way she acted, because she used to act like someone who was like above other people and all of that, even when she felt like she didn't belong even in her own family. So the way she is now, standing up for her own family, the same family that, like, what's the word? I would say betrayed her off of something that other, like, Nozo was the only one who knew that wasn't her fault. And even then, I would say that the way Nozo went about acting about it wasn't the best way at all.
I think the word you were looking for was abandon and
abandoned. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, abandoned and basically disowned her as part of the family. But and like it's like awful enough, but I like more so that that she like I think what Noelle did for Noelle and like still protecting her throughout everything was like fine. I think it made up for the fact of just all the horrible things that could have happened. But like I don't know. I think with Noelle, I think she could afford to be less of like less heroic towards her family and less owing of them, because she still very much cares for her family and brothers, right? So to the point that she'll still protect them and everything, but it's like good shonen fun for to be so pure hearted still, but at the same time, like it doesn't make the most sense for Noelle to still be so
defensive up.
So defensive and caring of them still. Yeah. I just wish that aspect of the relationship could have, and their dichotomy could have been a little more cohesive, but Noah's still great.
Yeah. I gotta say my favorite. Well, you can already guess what my favorite character is.
I know it's Yami, and I don't blame you. I don't got any entirely.
I don't have any complicated reason. He's just so tough. Like anytime he's on screen, he steals the show.
That definitely that's like the best part about Yami, and it's just cool as a mentor figure. I mean, but because that's his role. He always has to be there and show a thing or two to his I guess his pupils, yeah, because and his fight with what's his name again? The king. Dante? Oh my god. That's easily one of the coolest parts in the fight. That's easily one of the coolest parts of Black Clover for me.
Yeah, I'll say Denali versus Dante is arguably my favorite fight in this series thus far.
I don't even blame you.
It's literally my two favorite characters in the series going at it against someone with gravity magic.
Mm.
This is like a rule of thumb for me. Anyone with gravity powers is automatically hard.
Fuck me too. I think my one of my favorite parts, or like one of my favorite like aspects of like superpowers or whatever, is like when someone like commands, like when someone commands things with like their hands or whatever, and I always associate that with gravity magic, or like I don't know, some sort of like channeling magic or whatever. But like that thing, that type of superpower is like really cool.
Mm-hmm. It's just something about it that just makes it go different.
Totally. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention about Noelle's new power up. I think it's really cool for 3 reasons, or for a few reasons. The armor is dark in its color compared to her former mermaid and the other Valkyrie armor, and like
this armor's
the armor is darker in color, so it's like it was like in previous panels before of how she was acting more like a black bull and acting more with characteristics of Asta, but this kind of more cements it further as like it's more demonic and like devilish in nature, as dragons typically are, because you know, dragons being depicted in most fantasy as an evil terror, and Noelle picking up that appearance in contrast to her other angelic and heroic armors. I think it's a pretty cool detail.
Mm-hmm. I just like the fact that this armor it seems like that darker tone to show that, I would say, just show that it's stronger, more refined than her previous Valkyrie armor.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let me look at it again because I'm trying to remember if it had 2 weapons or 1.
I think she still just had her lance and shield.
Yes, lance. I believe that was what it was.
Oh, she's just holding the lance. It doesn't seem to have a shield.
Mm-hmm. But the lance does look way cooler now.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the wings.
Oh yeah, her wings look super cool.
Like butterfly wings.
Mm-hmm. But it's also just super cool because Noelle was like constantly told that she resembled her mother strongly, whether it be through her characteristics or through her appearance. So to have this armor be so different from the others, to like someone who is like, or how she denounces as like an imposter of her mother's image, like she's taking on a different appearance from her usual attire to confront this, yeah.
Pretty much sure that she's not the same as her mother.
Mm-mm. So, I hope the fight continues more, and I hope it's a bit longer with Noelle and her and with Aeshir. But either way, we'll just have to see for next week.
Yeah, as now that these chapters are coming back, only
Mm-hmm.
time will tell.
Okay. Now, let's talk about some Jujutsu Kaisen.
I bet. Talk to me. This new chapter.
Dude.
We already know what's gonna happen with this new chapter.
Oh my god. Okay. Just so Gojo Sukuna is a long time coming, right? Since the first episode. I mean not the first episode, the first chapter. I mean they've already fought. So like to have it coming back all the way around, and Gojo's like very cocky, very cocky and very proudly proclaiming that if he were to fight Sukuna, he'd probably come out on top. But it's a different story now. Sukuna has 19 fingers. He's the most powerful that he's been in a long time, right? So
I still think Gojo. You can't underestimate Gojo though.
Of course
we still haven't seen Gojo fight at his full strength.
But
as
my
Manga
god,
said, it's the most powerful sorcerer in history versus the most powerful sorcerer of today.
So and hey, so then this interaction, this battle, it'll decide it all. But you know how I want this fight to pan out? Okay, well, first, I want some crazy shit to happen just immediately next chapter. If these are the two most powerful characters in the series, but like, this shit has to look like nuclear warfare on every page. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be insane. With Gojo's purple hollow, you already saw the damage it did.
Yeah. Oh my god. And like, what was it was described earlier in the chapter how Gojo, he's not whipping out. He's starting at possibly the best he can to go at 200%, whatever that means for Gojo.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath. And then we already know that with Sukuna in Megumi's body, we already know that Sukuna has access to like one of the strongest summons. Like, he has access to a summon that's one of the strongest in the entire series. That's literally the best weapon is literally just adapting to anything that comes at him. Yeah. So, for example, if Gojo threw a purple hollow at it and it survived, what can Gojo do?
But that's the thing. Like, this'll be the test that pushes Gojo to what seems to be his fullest, or will be his fullest. But oh my god, it's like low key. Gojo Sukuna was always so cool to think about, but the way it's going on right now, like I'm not sure how Yuji is gonna be involved with this fight coming up, because he has to, right? Because Yuji feels personally responsible for like not only the damage that Sukuna has caused previously, but also the damage that Sukuna. The damage that Sukuna will do, I think is what you're gonna say, and also the fact that Sukuna is now no longer possessing him anymore.
But he's possessing Megumi. So now Megumi has to go through what he went through.
Yeah, and that's the terror of Sukuna. That's the horrible thing about him.
But the thing is, like, Yuji, like in the grand scheme of things, Yuji is not that strong.
He's not, but
but like, he's not. How is he gonna help out in Sukuna versus Gojo?
Yeah,
because it won't be like two straight fighting.
Only time will tell with what comes with these releasing chapters, as JJK is coming to an end. It seems like pretty soon-ish. So there's a lot to wrap up and come clean with, but but just Gojo Sukuna, we're here. it's happening.
This is the fight of the ages. The Naruto versus Sasuke of JJK.
Basically.
No. This is the Hashirama versus what's his name? Madara.
Yeah.
JJK.
That would be a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Just a scene of how legendary this fight will be.
So, and one other thing I wanted to just quickly point out, what this chapter revealed, his talk with the old guy, it briefly showed a panel of like you remember that panel where where it was like a bunch of corpses in like in the lot. I forget exactly what type of room to call it, but like there was
Oh, you're talking about the one that Pando's like right outside?
no, the one right after, cause like because I'm assuming those were the higher ups of the Jujutsu like sorcery like council or whatever. I forget exactly what the name is, but
Yeah, I think that was like the highest of the Juices Council.
yeah, I think
I can't remember what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what the interpretation is of whether it was the old guy that killed them or if it was Gojo that just did it on a whim because he was talking about how the old guy has changed, Gakuganji.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how he changed or whatever, and whether and he eventually he drops a specific line that I want to point out. Things would be better with you running HQ. So whether it's him, if that's him hinting off that like, hey, once this is all over, I'm giving this leverage to you, or if it's Gakuganji thinking about, yeah, I've already done it. I've already like got rid of the stains of the Jujutsu world or whatever.
It really puts up to interpretation. Because when I read it, it makes me think that it's probably he should have been the one as head instead of who was the head at the time. Was it Gojo?
No. They're unnamed characters.
So they're like characters that aren't even involved in the current landscape.
Yeah,
that would mean that they're really not helping out either.
yeah.
Which is why,
Mm-hmm.
because that now makes sense. I don't think it was probably the guitar dude that killed him.
Yeah, I think either or makes sense, but it's just if it was Gojo that killed him, I think it adds a pretty good layer to his character, and just showing how much of the immoral side of things he's willing to go through with in order to achieve his goal. And I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. And also another sick part I thought about was the end of the chapter, was him Gojo.
Oh yeah,
Gojo
saying that. He said that now you're not. He said that I'm not challenging you. You challenging me.
Dude, that's the type of face off I was waiting for. That shit is so cold, bro.
Like this is a Gojo that was gonna run this is the Gojo that was gonna run Toji. Was gonna fight Toji.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how he's kind of acting.
Yeah.
So he's going to probably go all out.
It's JJK is in a much more exciting place with these past few chapters. So I'm really excited, but what I'm more excited about is season 2 is underway soon. It's coming in a few 2 months in July.
And that's gonna debut the flashback and then probably some of Shibuya.
I think if it's a 24 episode run, I think it'll cover all of Shibuya, because the flashback arc is not going to be that long.
Ooh. Then yeah, I'm ready for it.
I'm so ready.
That fight between Toji and Gojo is gonna be cold. And then like the entirety of Shibuya is just insane.
Dude, season 2, whether it be just more hype animations or just the reveals it's gonna pull off, I'm really excited. I'm glad you're excited too, Aaron.
It's also gonna help like make it easier to understand some of those explanations. Like for example, what's his name? Was it Hikari? The third year.
Hakari?
Not
yeah.
Kenji.
Kenji?
Yeah, Kenji. Kenji Akari, the third year, who has one of the most complicated domain expansions I've ever seen.
Yeah. Kinji Hakari. Right. No. He won't be shown until the end of Shibuya arc, so probably a season 3. But dude, his domain expansion is probably one of my favorite. It's just so cool. It'll make more sense. It'll make so much more sense once it's animated. But like, dude,
when I read it, it really went over my head.
It's basically just a pachinko machine. It's just luck. He's just gambling on everything, and it's
when he hits
ridiculous.
When he hits jackpot, he literally becomes arguably strongest in the verse. In the sense that he just becomes immortal.
It's a super cool ability. I was unsure how I felt about the more complicated domain expansions that happened with the Culling Game arc, but I'm down for it. I'm honestly down for it. I'm already used to JoJo's. I'm used to Nen abilities. I'm used to these more like complicated and not so straightforward abilities or whatever. So Akari is a big favorite of mine.
Yeah, I can't wait for that arc. But for now, yeah, wait for the Shibuya arc, which will come soon.
We can't wait all the time. I can wait all the time I need. Like Shibuya is gonna happen, and so many.
Shibuya will be insane.
So many cool things are gonna happen. Oh my god, the main expansion with the court, the court expansion was really cool.
The 3-way domain? Oh wait, that's Culling Game. That's also Culling Game. Is that Culling Game?
That is Culling Game.
Oh, damn. They can't mention that yet.
That character is so cool. I forget his name exactly.
Are you talking about
the court guy, the lawyer? Higuruma. Higuruma is super cool.
Nah, he's cool. And his domain expansion is like an older one. So it isn't one with the sure hit effect, which I can't remember if it makes it. No, it makes it so that like the expansion itself doesn't have to be explained, but it also doesn't have a sure hit effect. Like it's more just instead of the domain extension being a straight attack, it's more of a realm. A realm with rules. Which is essentially what all domain extensions are, but that one's like more so one. More so a gimmick than an attack. That's what like that. His domain extension is more of a gimmick than an attack.
Which is the first way. That was the first time a domain expansion was like that complicated and more like that. Like it was more non-combative, which is pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
Okay. But JJK in a super, it's a good time to be a JJK fan right now.
It is like we eating
for sure. But I think we're gonna wrap up soon. So let's talk about.
Let's dive into. Yeah. All right. So we get into One Piece.
We get into One Piece, and we're gonna wrap it off with this.
All right. So what part of One Piece are we talking about? We talking about the arc in general, the new chapter,
just this latest chapter,
the speculations.
Just this latest chapter and anything that can be connected to it.
So starting off with this latest chapter, one thing I want to mention: a war, like the biggest war, is going to break out.
Oh.
With the attack on Saint Carlos, he's definitely done. And with Skansai and the Leo attacking him, we already seen what happened when Luffy attacked the Celestial Dragon. They attacked the Celestial Dragon on his grounds, and they're part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. So it's going to break out into a huge war that's probably going to accumulate Egghead, or which is already an insane arc right now.
Dude, I didn't even think about it. Like, I forgot completely that Sai and Leo were there, right? And so I completely forgot about the connection with the Straw Hat Fleet. Like they are under the reputation of Luffy. And so Luffy already having this insane and just incredible notoriety and what's the word I'm looking for? It's like notoriety, but this infamy amongst the world government. Already such a high class criminal branded amongst them, and now to go so directly as an assassination attempt on one of the celestial dragons, dude. So Luffy has to come with the response because that's his fleet. As we've shown with like
he will
other emperors, like the biggest one being Newgate, Whitebeard, like. Because like they're under his command and they're under his connection, like Luffy needs to respond with something. He can't because like it's just his extended crew.
He will respond, but he needs to get out of Egghead first. But he will most definitely respond.
Which I'm really excited for. I don't know what's gonna happen as soon as they leave Egghead or how they're gonna get out of Egghead Island for that matter.
Because the dome is up, like the field's up, so they can't like directly escape. And then Kizaru's there. Saint J Garcia is there, which is insane. Because before that, Agrosha had never left that Marijois. So him pulling up to Egghead itself, and he might have hands. We don't know yet, but he's probably most definitely gonna have hands. It's just a matter of time. And like, it's been 5 chapters since we've seen any of the Straw Hats, like 5 or 6, because there's so many other things that's going on. Law's fleet is done. Kid's fleet is done. Like Kid's fleet is very done. Law's fleet's done, but he's not like completely out. A lot of people are speculating and say Law might join Luffy
for another time. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. Law needs to, regroup with someone, so may as well be Luffy, because Shanks, because as Shanks is making his move, he's now the enemy of everyone.
Yeah, he's no longer. That's basically what you just said.
Oh yeah.
But like now he's actually going to be going after people, and he might go after the Straw Hats as well. And that brings me to something else. How do you feel about Mihawk?
In what way?
Do you think he's a fraud?
This question. No, Mihawk is the furthest thing from a fraud. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like Mihawk has no reason to show that he is the greatest swordsman other than to Zoro, or that he needs to prove and achieve his goals. Because like all Mihawk is really shown to want to do is like is to just be unbothered, and that's the only reason he took up the position of a warlord. Because if he took up that position, the government wouldn't go after him. So it's just the smartest move for him.
But since now the warlords have been abolished, now the Marines are going after him, so he just might as well join a Yonko.
And because Mihawk was never shown to have any grand ambition other than to prove his strength.
Which is why he's probably like when it comes to strength, he's definitely Yonko level, but he just doesn't have that same drive to be considered one. Because all the other Yonko, they're very what's the word I'm looking for? They're very infamous in the pirate world. Blackbeard already known for having 2 devil fruits. He has Hockey now. And like 2 of the most OP devil fruits are in his possession.
And just his crew, his territory that he has now too.
And I already can tell that he can definitely absorb more than just 2 devil fruits. because he was going to take Boa's devil fruit, and he was talking about how whether he should take Law's devil fruit or just leave it.
Mm-hmm. So.
And then Luffy, we already know about Luffy. And then Buggy is one of the most interesting stories for someone who is really good at failing upwards. He's always just in the right. He's always in the right place at the wrong time. For him, he's always at the wrong place at the wrong time, and ends up just increasing his notoriety. And people are thinking like he has a higher bounty than Luffy right now.
Yeah. I think it's pretty interesting with the way that they're handling Buggy, and how he's shown to be. I mean, it can all just be attributed down to a joke of the facade of Buggy and how he's not actually the biggest deal in the world, because he's so weak and like in comparison to other big name pirates. But the fact that he's able to rally up such like a huge crowd and have this charisma to lead into his ambitions, I think Buggy is quite the respectable figure in One Piece world right now.
It's quite an interesting thing to say. What else?
So,
how do you feel about?
Go on.
How do you feel about when Cobra went to the girls' say and Emu pulled up? So how do you feel about that part?
I was already thinking for a while how, because the reason this is all leading up to or the reason why we're backtracking the Cobra and his involvement is to show what exactly transpired between him and Kobe. No, not Kobe, Sabo, and how Sabo apparently murdered Cobra, right? So I think now that he's before the Five Elders, and now that he has an audience with Emu now, he asked something he shouldn't have. He really
definitely didn't.
He asked something that, because he asked something that like is forbidden government knowledge, because he couldn't find the information on Queen Lily. Queen Lily being someone that was part of the original kingdoms, and so she had the opportunity to be a celestial dragon and have the Nefeltari family be a part of that too.
But she chose not to for reasons unknown. But many speculate is she just didn't want to be in that sort of like same level of hierarchy, and she probably just didn't agree with it.
Right, and so she, who knows what happened to her? Maybe that was taken as a grave offense, maybe by the higher elder or beings of the world government at the time. And so by Cobra asking the fate of Lily, he like provoked Emu. He provoked Emu and is now gonna suffer the consequence for it.
And it's gonna be put on Sabo.
Yeah.
And that's probably what Sabo saw that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And that's how they got that scene of Sabo seemingly killing Cobra, when it was probably like Emo the Grocery that did it and just pinned on Sabo.
As they usually do. The world government of One Piece, no stranger to revisionist history or altercating facts or fabricating pictures or whatever, right? So this is their perfect.
People like Big News Morgans.
Exactly, and so this is their perfect way of getting rid of Cobra for asking for forbidden knowledge, and to add more like of a negative reputation to the revolutionaries. pinning Sabo as an assassin.
Hmm. And it's only going to help them and hurt the revolutionaries. But it's not. But they're not even going to be bothered by it as long as they know that Sabo didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm. So it's only gonna be their personal problem of, their own reputation to take care of. But probably it probably wasn't even him asking about Lily's fate that triggered Emu to make an audience with him. It was probably him asking more specifically about D and him having the letter that asked that contained the contents of Lily's message. So, because that was probably something that they didn't know of, and that was something that they
definitely knew about it,
or like maybe like they like failed to like erase, right?
I think it's probably just they're trying to erase anyone that's looking too much into the Void Century, and Cobra with Lily is looking too deeply into the Void Century, and now looking for answers that they don't want to give, and that's why they killed him. And that's probably why Emu showed up. Just because he was digging in too deep.
Oh, you know what? I remember I on my notes I have that in the chapter the Lost Chamber was mentioned by the soldiers of Mary Joa, and
another spot that we don't know anything about.
So that's probably what Sabo saw, and so that's probably where they are currently discussing this, or at least that's my speculation. That's me connecting my own dots.
It's something that I think with what we know now, that is a possibility for what Sabo saw, but that just leads to more questions. Because then, what was in that Lost Chamber? Like maybe it was that. Maybe the Lost Chamber is the spot that Emu went to with that huge straw hat. That's a possibility.
It could be that too.
Because we don't see that huge straw hat anywhere else, especially not in the throne room. So Emu couldn't have been there. And Emu already had a knife. The first time we saw Emu had a knife on Luffy and on Vivi.
Yeah.
So there's something that Emu knows about Lily. We might find out next chapter.
We might just like this would be like the third time that Emu has made a full appearance too. So
like the way we're going with lore drops, this is pretty much unheard of in earlier One Piece. Early One Piece would not lore drop like this.
No, but that's just the pace we're at right now. It's huge.
We're in the final saga, so we're going to get more and more info. Now I have a quick question for you.
What's that?
Because this is something I've been talking about with many people, and something I just saw on Twitter. Who do you think is stronger, King or Katakuri?
King or Katakuri?
Yeah.
I've actually never heard of this debate. What the hell?
You haven't? You haven't heard of King versus Katakuri?
You know what? I might have because they're both like the lead generals of Yonkos. Okay, you know what? That makes sense. Shit. In all honesty, I want to say, it might just be the recency bias that I have that's affecting King, but it's probably King. Look, in all seriousness, I need to do more of a rundown on their exact feats or whatever, but King just having the advantage of being a Lunarian is like already like that's so huge.
I say Katakuri. I think it was because I just want to say Katakuri because Katakuri, even like Luffy at his strongest, wasn't stronger than Katakuri in Whole Cake.
No.
And I feel like a lot of people say that Katakuri's strength is overrated, but I kind of doubt that.
I think that's a fair stance. I'm a Katakuri fangirl. I adore the shit out of Katakuri. So, in my head, I'll always picture Katakuri as like one of the strongest threats that that the new world has to offer. But I think just out of recency bias and just the feats that King Kaido's army has, I think I'd have to give it over to him.
So I was talking to someone about it, how King's defense surpasses Katakuri's offense.
I think that's the best way to put it.
But Katakuri's offense is like, the scope of Katakuri's offense is way bigger than what people may think it is, because his Delphu's extremely malleable. So it's really just, who knows?
Who knows? Then they may have fought in the past too, for all we know. Because Charlotte and Kaido were no strangers to conflict.
So it just goes to show that's probably like a really close match.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Was there anything else about this recent chapter that you wanted to bring up?
About this recent chapter, no.
I'm just wait. Just a quick question, if you remember. So Kuma was brought back with the revolutionaries, right? That was confirmed, or was that shown? Okay.
Yeah, so, Kuma was brought back with the revolutionaries, and then he went off again.
Oh, right. That's when he started bolting into Egghead, right?
I'm not.
Or was it?
We don't know where he was going.
Okay, we don't know where he's going. Okay.
When he bolted, he ended up like trying to cross the red line.
Oh, right.
Like it seemed like it was going like right back to Marijuana.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. That helped me picture the timeline of events better. All right, cool. Okay, I think with that, we're gonna end it off here.
All right, bet. A great discussion involving multitudes of anime, where we can just speculate, figure out what's going to happen next, and figure out what's going on in the grand scheme of things for each individual show.
Yeah, I think this has been tons of fun. I could definitely enjoy talking about more of this with you. We can both just be excited about the same shit every week, and who knows? I may just I may have just other topics or things I could talk about with other people too. So I have to see what more I do with this. But thank you for being here. Thanks for agreeing to do this.
No problem. I'm happy to hear.
If you can't do, go on.
I was just gonna say I was happy to be here.
If you can't manage 1 week or whatever, who knows? I may just go on my own, or I can probably just delay it a few days or something. But either way, good time.
I concur. Great talk.
All right, thanks a lot. This is
no problem.
I'll just wrap it up for here for now. Thanks for everyone that came, and maybe you'll be catching up with some of these same series too.
Yeah, get on them series. They're all really great shonen / seinen / whatever you want to call it, depending on what it is.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.